Hey guys, what's up? So I'm just basically dog sitting right now for the day, and I was thinking about some things, jogged my intuitions. I read a post about um, whether or not it was the end of the world or not, and I just felt like I had something to speak into this. So this might be thought of like a prophecy of sorts. And so I think to start off with, I think there's going to be a time when our regular day-to-day life is interrupted, and there's going to be a great war. And I don't know when that's going to be, if it's going to be due to Putin or whether it's going to be down the line in 20, 30 years. I don't know, but I think there's going to be a great war, and that uh, the image that I saw in my mind was dust rising. And so this dust rising is symbolic to either a nuclear bomb going off or a meteor hitting the earth or something like that just causes the dust to rise. And it doesn't seem like this is going to be an isolated event in a certain part of the world, but that we're going to kind of have to start over as a society, as a people. Maybe there will be a great economic collapse, and people will not have the luxuries that we have today with electricity working just the way all the time, and that people will really have to start over from scratch, almost like a nuclear fallout type thing. And I don't know when this is going to happen. It would be possibly in my lifetime, but I think it's going to be uh, a cataclysmic event for humanity, and humanity's going to have to start over. Many people are going to be displaced from their homes, and the point I'm making here is don't be too sure about what tomorrow brings, because you never know what is going to happen in the future. No one knows the future, and that includes me, even though I'm giving a prophecy. These are things that I've been sensing for a while. I've talked about this before, and I think there's going to be a move towards spiritual things in the turmoil of all this stuff. Maybe shortly before it happens, that science is going to realize that there's a spiritual component to the world, and really going to embrace that. And so as the nuclear fallout or asteroid hits the Earth, that people will be left with this impression that there's a spiritual component to reality rather than our naturalistic understanding of things. I think science is going to show that that's demonstrated, and then shortly after that there's going to be a nuclear fallout, and then after that then people will have to start over, but they'll already have these presuppositions about the spiritual world, and so that will carry them through, and people will no longer be atheist, but they will embrace spirituality. However, this might be polluted by worldly ideologies, and people will not get their source of spirituality from the Bible. In fact, there will be very few that do, but the world will be a much more open to spiritual things. I don't know if this means that places that are already more spiritual will not see this cataclysmic event, but I feel like it's going to be spurred on by that the places that are less spiritual are going to get had, basically. And this is way of God's judging, saying, oh, you trusted in your material wealth, you trusted in your technology, and now I'm going to upset the apple cart. and force you to live a more spiritual life. And I don't know what this means for Israel. I would assume that there would be a more awakening to Christ in Israel during this time, and that more people in Israel would accept Christ as Messiah. I don't know if this is the great turning of Israel to Christ, but I would assume that it would be notable, that there would be more people that would accept Jesus as Messiah, and this would be the gradual process that Israel goes through, that they gradually more people accept Christ. And I think in part because in other parts of the world where these cataclysmic events have happened, the Christians there would be a witness to the Israeli people, and they would see these Christians are being persecuted for their belief in Messiah Yeshua, and that they would latch on to that. They would say these people are willing to die for their belief in Messiah Yeshua, and so that would provoke them to jealousy, and they would gradually turn. I don't know how I have a timeline. I would say within 300 years that this cataclysmic event would happen, and then following that, Christ's return would be somewhere within 1,000 years. So, but first, society has to start over, and I think the reason for that is that Christ says that things will be like the days of Noah, and in the days of Noah there was not a lot of technology. There was some, but most of it was hard labor, and so that's the way it's going to be in many years. So yeah, that's just what I have to say. So thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.